So lately, Cave Engine is receiving a lot of hate and a huge backslash. If you go ahead and read and watch the comments, read the comments from the last videos, you will see exactly what I'm talking about. And I'm making this video for two reasons. The very first reason is, well, it's not the engine itself, but maybe it's me that I'm receiving the hate. Then I want to address this and fix this, hopefully. And also, I don't think this is a huge representation of how the engine is actually going. So this video is to show you how the engine is going, how people are reacting to it in general, because of course if you open YouTube and if you go to the comment sections, you will probably only see the bad or the more controversial ones, because they will get most replies and most likes or dislikes or whatever. So YouTube will push this to the top, and it may feel like something that is actually not. So let's address all that, and I will also reply to some common questions in this video. So let's figure out first what happened, and I'll read some comments here. I'll try to be fast reading them, but so let's go. The very first comment is from Sudo Akman. He mentioned me and say, imagine not being able to take constructive criticism. They ask for a demo and you come back with a sleazy comment. Just because you say how amazing this engine is, you think we are all just going to sit back and believe it's a fair request. Yes, it's a fair request. And then Jen EG said, yikes, this attitude put me off immediately. Samu the Frog says, bro, you've been receiving some serious backslash, and I actually cut this comment because it was a huge comment to explain about it. You can go back to the other videos and find it. This also is cut, but Aaron C Media said you need to learn some marketing, and he explained to me a lot about why I need to learn it. That Talu, sorry for not pronouncing your name, said, bad take, dude. Choosing the wrong game agent can cost much more than 2 pizzas. Ben Schotening said, you spent so many years for nothing. Like, we have so much better engines. Why we should use this? Yeah, sounds like a waste of time of me making the engine. And huge the tilt, not being polite, but why should I choose your paid engine over any other free like Gru or Unreal? Didn't find any advantage in this video. This comment actually is a good comment. I've actually replied to it, and I've made the other video, the one that got the most hate, actually, to reply this of what is the advantage. So it's a good comment. Anyways, all this backslash, most of it probably came from this question that Chicken Plucker's son said. He asked, trial and demo, a game engine needs to be used before a purchase, in my humble opinion. And I not very happily replied, imagine having to provide a free version of a pretty cheap product that costs as much as a pizza. Yes, this is bad. Yeah. I've edited the comment and apologizes, but again, this is bad, so I am really sorry for that. Lately, because of the release of the engine over my 2 channels in English and in Portuguese, I've been having hundreds, maybe thousands of messages and comments. You can see here in the comment sections of YouTube, I got almost 1,000 comments. And if you ever commented in my videos, you know that I try my best to reply every single comment. Every single comment I try. It's very hard. I fail most of the times because there are too many comments, but what I usually do is like every day I wait for some hours and then I open YouTube on my phone because it's easier. I can do this at the street once I'm waiting for some line or whatever, and then I can start replying comments. But this is taking like all my day lately because of this, and most of the comments here are very similar to each other. Again, this does not justify me being sleazy or harsh or anything like that, but it is hard, very hard for me to reply everyone while trying to manage like a full-time job, working in my studio, making my game, supporting the engine, receiving everyone that is purchasing the engine and making sure they all get the help they want and they need, and understand everything, how it works, also handling my family and my bills and everything. And to make things even worse, lately I figured out that I have some breathing disease. I was not able to draw air to my lungs, and it was very bad because I was not able to breathe, and then I was not able to sleep, and then I had to go to the hospital and came back with some initial diagnosis of a very serious allergic stuff and also asthma. So you can see this the bomb. I don't know how it's called in English, but it is getting fixed. But imagine me replying thousands of comments. Imagine you replying thousands of people's while not being able to breathe and working full time and taking care of her family and comments and all that. And most of the comments are maybe the same. Yes, I misunderstand you. By the way, the guy that reply this comment here, he probably did not. I probably even don't even get what he asked. Now that I'm thinking about, he was not asking for a trial version. But anyways, it was bad for me. So I'll try to do better. I promise. I'll try to do better. I'm sorry for that. But let's actually figure out how Cave is actually doing, because again, I don't think this is a realistic representation of how the engine is going. So I will go ahead and explain this to you so you can get an actual better picture. Because actually, we've been getting a very positive response to Cave, like a very, very, very positive. If you are a member of my Discord server, you will know this, but also just by looking at YouTube comments, I'll read some of them here as well. So Red Nib commented, very nice, the documentation improved a lot, well done, keep it up. Red Nib is also on my Discord, and it's also supportive of the engine, so he uses it. This is why I'm saying this. Heman, I don't know how to pronounce your name. I'm so happy for this. I will try it today. Joshua says that this looks really good. And then it's Gravix said, dude, this is sick, amazing. I hope the big studios uses it for one of their games and it takes it up. I also hope this, man. Android Ferret said, subbed, so awesome. Cannot wait for the games coming out of this. Kohler say, I don't like, he is actually mentioning something that I said in a video, which is, I don't like programs that require internet connection. And then he said, this is the best quote I've heard from a developer in the last 15 years. I appreciate that, man. And another 147 people appreciated that too. It got a lot of likes, very good. Broco Dev said, this is actually sick. It looks like a mix of all the great engines, Unity, Unreal, and Godot, but more down to earth. This has an insane potential. Do you have any plans for more advanced features for graphics and animation? This is actually very nice, man. Thank you for the comment, Broco. And this is kind of like what I'm aimed for Cave, like have everything that the other engines have, great, but also in a very down to earth, easy, very fast and simple for you to get started and use it. I don't want Cave to require any tutorial or anything like that. Replying to your questions about the more advanced features for graphics and animations, animation system in Cave is actually very good. I actually made a video, your comment was 2 weeks ago, so the video was after this, explaining how the animation system works in Cave. The only difference is that it does not have fancy visual stuff, because I figured out while we were using it in our studio here to make our games that the fancy visual stuff for the animation is good and all that, but then you realize that it's kind of, believe it or not, it's kind of easier to not use them and just make stuff directly from code. But anyways, go ahead and watch this video. And regarding graphics, yes, I do have a lot of plans for this. Lately, I've implemented cascade shadow mapping, and I want to improve the physically based rendering that Cave Engine have, improve the shadows itself, also terrain system. People are asking this a lot. It's in the works. So yes, I have a lot of plans for this. Subedara commented, that's cool, Game Engine. I watched your videos and used Cave Engine 0.9, I think, for making my first game, but I didn't knew you were working on it for 9 years. Great job, keep up the good work. Thank you so much, man, and I'm very happy to hear that you used Cave Engine 0.9. It was very old, a long time ago, and it was good also to make your first game. I'm very happy to hear that. And then we have Headnip again here, but this time in the Discord. So great to see that you're working on improving on the onboarding experience, improved documentation, YouTube tutorials, Cave examples. Keep it up. Great, man. I will keep it up for sure. And then Marco Polo said this looks very well done. Damn, very nice. Thank you, man. And the comments continues on and on. John said your engine UI looks amazing. Krino the gamer says the Decimate 2 is phenomenal. Yes, man, I really miss this in many other engines, and in Cave it's very easy. If you have a high poly mesh, you can decimate this, it's fine. Or even to create like a physics mesh and all that. Cola MG, this is awesome. Vanilla from Necopara. So I saw your introduction video, got immediately hooked and purchased it immediately, if I can read English, of course. I know Python and I like game modding What's the worst that could happen? Thank you so much, man. I hope you're having a great time with it. Python is one of the unique selling points of the engine. I'll talk about that in a moment. And many people like Python and they're looking for an engine that it is scriptable in Python, and we don't have a lot of options out there. So I really hope that Cave becomes like the number one solution for Python-based game engines, and it's very nice. Budget terms. To be honest, for the documentation that's added, it's a good choice if you don't want to learn a new language and want to code a game in Python. Exactly, Python again, very nice. John Jackson said, nice, Christ is king. Amen, man. Thank you for the comment. Alejandro said, finally a decent Python game engine. This is awesome, man. Good luck. Sir Bozo said, nice. Never thought Cave engine will be this advanced. Keep going. Thank you, man. Red Nib is making a Goblin RPG game using Cave already. Very nice. And there's a lot of other people making games as well. If you can hang out in our Discord to know more. Gauni said, dude, keep them coming. I'm so excited about this engine. Brought that shit ASAP. Nice, man. Thank you so much. And then Dr. Cool's on boy said this has potential. So yeah, man, the overall reception of the engine is very nice. Most of the comments, I would say like 90% of the comments or 99% of the comments are very positive. So I again apologize for the bad take that I sometimes do replying the comments. I'm not gonna do this anymore. I'll try, okay? So thank you everyone for this. This is very good. And now some important questions that I want to reply here. And one of them is, why do Cave even exist? Because of comments like this, you spend so many years for nothing, like we have much better engines and all that. I mean, why did I create engines? Why did I make Cave? And many other people said, well, it's a business model, you want to compete with all those engines, how are you going to earn money and blah, 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 blah. Well, actually, first things first, I'm a senior game engine developer, so I work with engines overall in the industry. Right now, I'm working at Uniday Studio, my studio, but I used to work in the industry as a senior game engine developer, so this is my specialization. I know how to make engines, and actually learning that was actually necessary for me to get this role. But specifically for Cave, why does it exist? I'm not going to tell you a very boring and long story, so the too long don't read is first to make games here at Uniday Studio. Yes, we wanted a proprietary engine here to fit our needs. We want Python, we want very simple, very lightweight, lean. We don't want any bullshit, any licensing issues, any royalties and all that, so we decided to make our own game engine. So I've been making this for 9 years, and now we've been actively using it. Like last year was a crazy year for us in the studio because we use it Cave a lot. Cave engine evolves a freaky lot last year because of Crawl, the game that we were making, and now we are making another game and about to release Crawl, so this is very nice. And we want to use Cave, so this is exactly why the engine exists, for us to use it here in our studio. Just like other engines, I asked ChatGPT to quickly list a bunch of companies and engines, companies that uses an in-house engine. So you can see here, have Naughty Dog, Rockstar, of course, with Rage. Rage is probably the most, the number one. CD Projekt do have Red Engine. Now they're using the Unreal Engine 5, but they do have the in-house engine. We have Guerrilla Games, Santa Monica Studio, ID Software, Capcom, Ubisoft, Square Enix, Epic Games, Unreal Engine. Huh, this one is funny. It's probably Epic Games and Unreal Engine. Yeah, it's kind of Uniday Studio and Cave, but in a bigger scale because it's the same thing. Like they made the engine, it's public. Anyways, we have Kojima, Crytek, From Software, DICE. Again, a bunch of companies with a bunch of custom-made engine, but something that, since I was a kid, I remember playing old school games and knowing that they have a custom-made engine, and then I was like, man, it would be so cool if this guy actually made this engine available for everyone. And like, since I already have a cool engine here, since I already have Cave, then why not share it? So this is what is in my mind, and this is why Cave Engine was always a thing for you all to try it out. I don't want to have like a cool engine here in our studio that is so good and we can use it to make our games, but not share with people. I kind of like the idea of sharing it with people. So I decided to do this. It's been many years that Cave Engine is a thing. It has been covered by Game from Scratch before many times, so this is very nice. So yeah, why not share it? This is why it exists, and this is why it is shared with the public. And by the way, just a side note, I found that it's very hard to keep the public version up to date and to provide support to it. So this is probably why those other companies that I've mentioned here, they don't have their engines publicly available. Plus the fact that, of course, there's like secrets, industrial secrets, they are developing bleeding edge stuff and all that. But this is when it comes to Cave, this is also exactly why Cave engine is not free anymore, because like last year was a crazy year for us here when it comes to improving the engine got more than like 2/3 of the commits that the engine had in its entire lifetime. And again, I've been working on that for 9 years. They actually came last year because of our game, and it's very hard to keep up with a public release, because when it comes to public release, we need to make videos like this, we need to make documentation, tutorials and all that, reply comments and being harsh and apologize and all this. So it's very, very hard. And this is why it was not possible, no longer possible for us to keep it free and provide decent support. So this is why we're charging this price, which is very fair actually. And I'll go back to this in a moment. But anyways, that's it. This is why it exists. And let's evolve it and answer this. What are the unique selling points? I've been talking about that for a while here in the last videos, but this time I'll go ahead and do like a too long don't read. I'll go very briefly over 4 topics here that I believe it's the main things for Cave that you can think about. So let's go ahead, and if you want more details, we can talk in the comments. You can watch the other videos and all that. So the very first one is that Cave is small, but at the same time complete. No bloated stuff, easy to learn and use. It's a lean engine. It's very simple, Cave. I believe Cave engine wins when it comes when you compare this. The engine with Godot, Unity, Blender Game Engine, and of course Unreal, which is a AAA engine. When it comes to the smallest engine, the smallest file size, the small amount of stuff in it, small amount of stuff that you need to learn in order to make your game, you can very quickly learn Cave. I don't need like hundreds of hours of tutorials for you to get the basics of the engine. There's no bloat, no other stuff. For example, it's a 3D only engine. There's no 2D stuff in it. There's no other stuff that you don't need for make 3D games. So it's very simple, very small. And out of these engines that I'm aware of in the market, I believe Cave wins in this. It's very, very, very small. But again, it's complete. This is why I said here, small but complete, because of course everyone can make the smallest engine in the world. It can be much more smaller than Cave, but the real question is this enough for you to create games, to create like small, medium, even large scale games? And the Cave, in case of Cave, yes it is. So this is why I said it's small but complete. The second thing, which is a great unique selling point, is it was writing in C++, so it's very fast, but it is scriptable in Python, which is still fast, by the way. Many people say, oh, Python is a no-go because it's slow. I've already mentioned this many times. I did a bunch of tests in Python, and I mean, Python is slower than C# or C++, for example, but how slow is slow? For example, is slow too slow to make games with it? And the answer is no. We can make games, and very complicated games. For example, the game we were making, Crawl, it was an open world game with literally hundreds of scripts being executed at the same time. And do you know how much performance impact this had? None. No performance impact. The game runs fine at 60 frames per second, which is like the limit that we put our games to put. And if we analyze the performance graph of it, Python is not even the #1 thing that is taking more performance. Like physics and the graphics are taking much more, like gigantic more performance than Python. They are taking much more time. Again, not in a bad way, but if you compare this, Python is not a problem. And again, it's an open world game with hundreds of Python scripts, and we did not even have to optimize the scripts, by the way. It's pre-compiled, so it's still fast, still very good for making games. So this idea of Python being slow for games, it's not true at all. I've been making games with Python for 15 years and it's completely fine. Plus, people really like Python, me included. So if you like Python, you can go ahead and do it. And I know people say, oh, there's GD script in Godot, which is similar to Python. Yes, it's similar. It's not Python. So if you like Python and if you want Python without learning anything different, just Python, well, this engine is for you because it's Python based. It's literally Python. You can go ahead and you can even install third-party libraries. I have some instructions for that in my Discord channel. So yes, it's literally Python. And the third unique selling point is, believe it or not, the price and the license. And I know this may sound crazy because, well, price, but there's free engines out there, and how the price can be a unique selling point. So I'll let some comments reply for me. So DedgeV311 said, I have to fully support Guilherme here for a one-time payment. This is super cheap, given that the project you're not get abandoned, and don't worry, it will not gonna get abandoned. I despise the more than subscription everything trend, considering how much work was done on the engine. 50 bucks, about 100, I don't know how to pronounce this, but 1% of the average programmer salary in the US seems very cheap to me. Yes, man, I don't really like subscription models. Initially, I wanted to make Cave a Patreon only, but it's a subscription. You have to pay forever. So if you want, you can become a patron and get Cave, but I made this single time, one time per payment. I believe it's the fair thing for especially for an offline software like Cave. And AK Nighthawk said, yep, $50 is not bad at all for Cave. You can look on Steam and other places and find engines for over $100 or $200. But plus, you got to consider all the time and work he put into it. Being $50 for a good engine is great. I'm really looking forward to seeing how much better the game engine gets in the near future. Thank you, man, and I'm also looking forward for it. I'm working hard for it, actually, so this is a very valid consideration. By the way, the license I haven't mentioned yet because I said it's one of the selling point. Basically, I can link in the description if you want, but basically, well, if you make a game using Cave, the game is yours. That's it. No royalties. You don't have to worry about it. It's your game. Anyways. And last but not least, let me read this comment because I will answer some questions here also. Astrus HD said, I think it's really unfortunate that so many people are hating on this project. At first glance, when you announced it was with the pricing, I was skeptical as well. But the more I think about it, the more I feel like this is an awesome. Especially the license part is a huge deal. Again, the license. Big corporation like Unity will always try to milk money out of you once you start making money with your games. Look at the pay-per-download thing Unity tried some while ago. In general, there's no serious indie competition in the game engine market besides Godot, and that's actually a good point. I can't think about some other engines, but they don't try to large-scale compete with it. Good point, man. I may get the engine, but is there even a reliable way to get into contact with you? If I'd run into issues with Cave, it'd be unfortunately if not. And the answer is yes. You can join my Discord. There's a bunch of servers and channels for Cave, and I'm online over there all the time helping people fixing issues that they have and try to improve the engine and the community overall. So yes, don't worry about that. Just hop in my Discord server and we can talk and it will be great. Okay. Anyways, this is an awesome project and I'm so excited to see where it goes. We're really disciplined programmer. Thank you, man. Not everyone can roll this off by their own. So much work. Thank you again. Good job, man. Keep going. Thank you for commenting, bro. Hope you got your answers and you got Cave. And the last but not least is main dev is also the main user. And people don't realize how important this is. What do I mean? Oh, I am the main developer behind Cave Engine, but I am also the main, and notice the word main here, and I am also the main user, meaning since I'm the main developer, I know literally 100% of the code base in this case because I wrote it all alone. So I know every single line and every single section and corner of it. Meaning that if I need to replace something very deep in the engine, for example, if I need to completely overwrite the handling of the engine, which I did last year, probably twice for our game, and I can do it, and I know how to do it. I know exactly what the steps are, and how long it takes and everything, because I wrote it all. So I'm a main developer, so I have all the knowledge for this engine in particular, which is different from contributing to an engine where I only know a handful of code of it. I don't have a lot of freedom in terms of knowledge to completely overhaul something very deep in the engine, because I don't know enough of the engine, of course. But the deal here is that I am also the main user, because as I said, Cave exists for us to use here in our studio, Uniday Studio. So I am the main user, not only me, but the people working. For example, Crawl, it was a 3-people project working nearly full time in it. But why this is a big deal? Because since I'm the main guy using it, I am the first one to actually stress test it. I'm the first one to actually have problems with it. I'm the first one to actually encounter most of the bugs. I'm the first one to get really frustrated and upset when something is not working in the engine. I'm the first one to literally figure out, well, this engine needs this, or this engine does not need this and that and all that. And this is good because first, you don't have to worry about this, because I have to worry about this. I worry about this and I fix it, and you don't even realize many things in Cave that I can talk for years here. I had to fix it while working in the engine, and you don't even realize this. And the second thing is, well, since I'm the main dev, again, I can fix everything. I know everything. And this is very different if I was only, for example, the main dev, but not the main user. So I was not actively using the engine to make games. I was just developing it because, again, I'm not going to have the experience of immediately using and stress testing in a real world battle scenario, production scenario. So I will have to rely on you downloading the engine, hundreds of people to download, test it, and get frustrated and upset, and then report to me, and then I will have to prioritize the reports, and this will take a lot of time. And as a proof that this is very important, I will show you one engine here in the market, which is probably the most advantaged engines that we have in the market right now, but it's like a AAA level engine, which is Unreal Engine 5. And Unreal Engine 5 is very different, because why can Unreal be so much above when it comes to technology to the others? Well, because if you look at how Unreal Engine evolved, you can see that it evolved by the developers behind it making games with it. For example, you have Unreal Tournament that came in 1998, and other games from it after this. We have Gears of War that came in 26. And also we have Paragon that came in 2016, and last but not least, Fortnite in 2017. So the engine, Unreal Engine, is evolving a lot to fit their needs for these games. And of course, everyone else using the engine is actually getting benefit of it. And if you compare this with Godot or Unity, and again, I'm not saying bad things about this, don't hate me in the comment, because people always hate, especially the Godot guys and the Unity guys, sorry. But they don't have like the main guy behind it, the main studio behind it, developing actual commercial games with it. So the rate where it evolves is much different from Unreal Engine 5. It's not only a matter of budget or programmers working on it. It's this is very important, and people don't realize that. So this is the last unique point for the engine. I believe you guys get a lot of benefits from knowing that I am actually using the engine here in the studio to make games and improve it. And for example, I work next in a GTA-like game. Imagine how much the engine will improve. Anyways, so let's keep going. And another question, now let me answer this properly, is the trial and demo. Just like Chicken Plucker's son said, trial and demo. Game engine needs to be used before purchase, in my opinion. And many other people ask for a demo, like Kabasho, like, I don't know how to pronounce your name, man, and PS Tactica. I don't know. Anyways, so what is the demo? What is a try and demo? First things first, I don't have plans to make like a free version of the engine itself for many reasons. I prefer to have this version of the engine, you purchase it, and it's a fair price, and then you can use it and all that. But I understand that people may want to at least see how the engine is capable of doing stuff. At the moment, the demo we have is the demo project. It's a huge demo project that if you get the engine, of course, you can download the demo project and open it. And you will learn everything on how the engine works. There's a first person, third person, top down demo here. There's a vehicle demo here for if you want to make a racing game or whatever. There is particle demos, menus demo. There's even a Minecraft demo, and I'm making a multiplayer demo also. So there's a lot of things going on here, a lot of demos for you to learn. But again, this is for people that actually have the Cave, because you need Cave to open the demo. So it's not an exported thing. So maybe I need to work in a demo that I can download and play, something like that. I believe that this will be good. But there's a problem with this, and I want to ask a little bit of help of you all here, because I'm not an artist, and why this is important and why this is a problem. I'm like a programmer. I know how to do art, but I'm not an artist, so it's programmer art, so sort of. For example, people say, Namaste Hindu Stan said, can you explain why Unreal Engine achieves such realistic graphics? And the answer is, I don't know, because I'm not an artist. And if I open Unreal, and I actually did this, I know Unreal, by the way, very well how to use it. I had to learn it in a moment while I was working in industry many years ago. It was a bit after Unreal Engine 5 was released, so I know Unreal very well, but since I'm not an artist, this is probably the best I can do with Unreal Engine 5. And if you look at this, and you know Unreal Engine 5, what it is capable of doing, and if you look at this, you say, whoa, bro, this is not like a good game. It is really bad. This really sucks, man. So is this Unreal Engine 5's fault? Is this like because Unreal Engine 5 is not capable of doing good graphics that my graphics suck? No, it's probably because I'm a very bad artist. Actually, this is definitely why, definitely because I'm a really bad artist. I cannot do things. I don't understand the art stuff, how to do art direction and all that. I'm a programmer. I'm just here to create the tools for you to create the art. And Cave Engine provides this, by the way. You can completely delete the shaders of the Cave engine and actually create your own. Plus, by the way, this is just a side note. I have a lot of performance issues with Unreal Engine 5. So to use it on my computer, I need to disable Lumen and Unite and everything, the global illumination. I need to put the scalability mode to low and all that, because if I try to put anything higher than that, I get like video memory is exhausted. I get very poor frames per second, even in the default scene. I should have taken the print screen in the default scene, because now we can argue that this is a huge scene. It's not, by the way, but like the default scenes runs like 10 frames per second here. But I'm still a very bad artist. Like, I don't know, this tree looks bad. Why? I don't know. The ground also, and the rocks, I don't know. I'm not an artist. I don't know. But again, I don't really like this supercomputer requirements. And this is just a side note, by the way. I'll go back to the main point here in a moment. But this is probably why, for example, I got rid of bleeding edge technology in Cave years ago. So this ray marching, if you follow me for a long time, you know that I was actually implementing, it was before COVID, by the way, it's been a long time, but I was actually implementing like global illumination, ray marching, and all sorts of crazy stuff in the engine. But I actually decided to get rid of it because I really dislike the engines requiring you to have a supercomputer to run decently. I mean, if you want, you can download Cave and implement your own ray march and global illumination. The shaders are open in the engine. You can go ahead and write your own if you want, but I don't want to enforce the default, all the users to use a supercomputer, to have a supercomputer. So yeah, this is important to me. So let's go back to this subject here. So if I go ahead and place a screenshot of my super amazing and realistic game in Unreal Engine 5, again, I'm not an artist, and put near to my attempt to make realistic stuff in Cave. Not realistic, this character is a bit cartoonish, but this one is also. And now that I'm thinking, I should have added grass here just to make this comparison a bit more fair. But if you see, well, I don't know how conclusive this can get. I mean, let me know in the comments. Is any better, worse, same? all they both look bad, they both look good. I don't know. I don't know. So this is one of the biggest things like that prevents me from making a demo in Cave. Uh, I don't think my art reflects how the engine is capable of doing. Just like my Unreal Engine 5 programmer art here, which is very bad. And I don't know how to improve this. Anyways, by the way, I did try to create and release a game in Cave. It's a game called The Evil in Night. It's available on niche for $2. And I'm not sure how it goes, but you can play it. By the way, there's a shader that pixelates stuff if you're near too close to the Nemesis. So this is why you can see there's a bunch of pixelation here. It's literally a shader that does this, but out when you're not close, it does not show. But anyways, you can play the game if you want and see. But again, I'm not an artist. So let me know what you think. That will be a good demo, and I'll definitely work on that. I was thinking about getting some shaders and shader toy, and because we can do this in Cave, you can override the shaders and then go into Fab or Sketch Fab or whatever and downloading some assets. But again, I was using AAA assets from Paragon and all that in my Unreal Engine project, but it still looks bad. So I don't know. Let me know what you think. Let me go to the next question, which is what platforms it supports and exports to. So there's a lot of people asking this, and to long read, Windows and Linux, you can use it at the moment. I'm fine-tuning the final details on Linux because I'm having some third-party library issues, but it's something that you can fix. You can manually install the libraries and can ping me on Discord and I'll help you, but it supports this. And web exporting is in the works. The engine itself, we're not going to run on web, on a browser, but I'm working in exporting for your games to run in a browser because I believe this is very good. Other question that people ask, what about Android support? I don't know. Right now, or at least this year, I don't have any plans for working in this Android port because it's a pain to compile stuff to Android. It's a pain to do anything related to Android. Sorry if you're an Android dev, but I find it very annoying. And the web version will work in Androids anyway, so yeah, I don't know about this. Regarding consoles, I would like to make it support because I do have experience in the industry porting games to consoles like Xbox, especially Xbox, and also a bit of PlayStation. But it requires SDKs, not only me, I don't have them at the moment here in the studio, but you, if you want to make your games and export. Just like if you want to do this with Unreal or Unity, you have to have the SDKs, and it's not easy. So I'm not sure about this. Again, not for this year, this is long-term stuff. People ask, what are the system requirements for Cave? Well, it runs on any computer with OpenGL 4.3, which was released more than 12 years ago, so I believe it's pretty cool. It's pretty good to require this, and I was trying very bad to support lower OpenGL versions, but it is very hard. It's almost impossible at this point. Anyways, one extra question, what about the visual scripting? And the answer is, well, I am actually working on this. I've been working on this for years, actually. You can see this is a very early stage, by the way, very early stage. There's an update flow here. Then you can apply a local movement to the transform component. You can see that I can get the transform from the entity and get the entity that is executing this and move this again. And then I can add this logic to the to an entity and it will run. But I'm just showing this so for you to know that I do have plans to add visual scripting, but this is in very early stage, and WIP, it is crashing, it does not serialize the stuff, it does not have all the necessary logic for it to function properly and decently, the UI is bad. So again, very early stage, but just know I do have plans for this. But just don't expect to purchase the engine and next month having it. It will probably take a lot of time, maybe years, but who knows? I'm not promising. It will probably arrive before Android or anything like that because I'm working on this already. But again, very early stages right now. So folks, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. And the engine, I don't know where you are watching this video or when, but it is currently in a discount. So check it out before you leave. The link is in the description. Thanks for watching, and I see you in the next one. Bye.